Hey everyone, it's Veiled Shot back at it with another Awaken Chaos Era video, and in this one I'm going to be going over Arena and all things Arena offense and how to build an Arena offense comp. So if you do not know, the Arena event's going on currently, and I went over this whole event in a previous video. So if you do want to check that out, I'll leave a card in the top right corner. But essentially what we need to do is use all of our Arena passes every day, and also a couple of additional passes. But you also need to win a majority of them, and right now my Arena offense win ratio is a little low unless I refresh, constantly looking for specific people because I remember their names. So most of them are tanky comps, but I can tackle some of the Winstrex comps, but not all of them. And so we're going to see if I can change that so I can tackle almost all of the Winstrex comps. And with that, I will be going over 3 general strategies, and 2 of which I will be trying to build in this video so that we can help this account, beat some of those arena battles and get that free event rewards. Now, if you are enjoying these videos, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. And let's head right into what the first strategy will be for this account. So the first 2 involve around turn meter manipulation, and the third one is a turn 2 version of some of the comps in here. So the first thing is, if you don't have a Winstrex, this makes it, very, very difficult to compete in the arena in regards to going first. She is kind of the enabler to go first, and she makes a lot of the arena offense much, much quicker, because not only do I want to win, but I do not want to sit there for 6 rounds of arena battling. I do not have time to do that, to refresh constantly and wait for all the arena, battles to do on manual. It's just not practical for me. And so I need a quicker comp, and I'm going to be using Winstrex. So the first one will be involved just using a plain old Winstrex, and then just, mix between either 2 damage dealers and a CC character, or just 3 flat out damage dealers. I myself have a Tia. If you do not have Tia, then, you could use a different CC character to go second, and then set up your damage dealers so that way they're for sure going. Or you could just, go with 3 damage dealers, because in this game there is the stun spell, and so oftentimes you're able to stun their fastest character and go anyways. But if you have a CC character like Tia, it helps you for sure make sure that you go, first with your damage dealers as well. So I'm going to go ahead and level up Winstrex to 5 stars and completely glyph her out. I do not have the ability crystals for her right now, but it's not necessarily important for the arena purposes, at least. I don't think the battle should be going on, past 4 turns anyways, so this shouldn't matter too much. So I'm going to be back when I completely max out her glyphs and get her to 5 stars. All right, so here we are. We are leveling her up to 5 stars here, and this isn't necessarily directly for arena. It will help us, a slight bit. But I plan on using her in other game modes as well, so figured bring her to 5 stars. Doesn't really need a 6 star at this moment for me. And I know I said I was going to max out her glyphs, but I guess what I really mean is getting this plus 10 speed on a legendary one, because that's really the only one that you really care about. The other ones are just extra stats, so not super, super important. And for those of you that, have maybe watched my previous videos or watched some other videos out there about Kyle, we will be using Kyle a little bit later on in the video. However, Winstrex actually has plus 1 speed above Kyle after they are both maximum glyphed speed-wise. Because Kyle only gets 4 speed from his glyphs, whereas Winstrex gets 31. So it's a huge difference, and it really boosts Winstrex above what she was base capable of. And so that's pretty important to know. Now, the second thing is we're going to go ahead and build out Winstrex here. Now, what I'm looking for is really just speed. I'm looking for speed where I can get it, wherever that is. And hopefully I will have a couple of, boots here that we can put on that will be super nice for us. Now, I think I'm just going to pull these off from Kyle and later on, because I want Winstrex to be the fastest character possible. So we're just going to look for Raider sets. We're going to look for speed if we can get it. This one has 5 speed. That's fine. Anything that has speed on it. This has 8 speed. Perfect. And then, of course, weapons can get speed as well. So we're going to look for speed here. So this one has 6 speed. I might, grab that from Connor and then replace his later on with something like this. So we're going to go ahead and grab that from Connor. And then after that, it doesn't really matter. I can just pull off, basically whatever I want. I'm just going to drop something. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're just going to put that on. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put another piece on. So we only have plus 93 speed on Winstrex here. That's not the greatest, but it is the best I can do. I might plus up these boots to 15. I don't really have a lot of speed Raider set boots, and it would give me a little bit more speed here. But this seems pretty good so far. Yeah, we're going to steal from Kyle and Connor. That's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and rebuild a couple units, and I'm going to kind of go show you exactly what I mean by this Winstrex comps first off. So I did happen to plus 15 the boots, and I also rolled up the necklace because that's plus 6, and we went to plus 9, got a speed roll, and so that puts us at, I believe, 249. Yeah, 249 speed, and I might consider plussing up the potion, the ascension wise, because at this point I kind of need the plus 15 speed to compete at this level. A lot of people do have a double ascension Winstrex, and so I'm just not able to outspeed a lot of people. But I just want to go ahead and show you the rest of the comp. And so that's going to be Tia next, who's going to go right after Winstrex at 185 speed, 90% focus. She's geared up for damage with 90% crit rate. And I'm going to have her do a little bit of fluff damage. And then I'm going to be running Zatlux, Cyrus, or Nathalia, most likely Cyrus. And the reason for this is my Nathalia is just too slow. And so I'm probably going to be running Cyrus simply for the fact that we need a little bit extra damage. And she is already quick as well. And so she's at, about 166 speed with decent stats as well on a cursed set. And then I have Zatlux, who's at 145 speed. And that's why we kind of need a Winstrex and a little bit faster teams, because Nathalia, I believe, is at 119, 116. She's even slower than I thought. So we're probably going to be using a mix of those. I might drop in Evelyn first on, and that's not necessarily part of one of the comps. She's a pretty rare character, so but she is decent for Arena. So we're just going to go ahead and challenge this first team. This is a Winstrex comp, so we're just going to drop in this team and see if this will work. I don't know if we will be able to beat this one, and the simple reason for that is we have not enough speed, of course, to outspeed that Winstrex. And so this is where the second version of the comp that I was talking about earlier might come in handy. And so we're just going to go ahead and see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and put the defense down. Even though I would have preferred to use it on Tia, she ended up getting stunned, so that's a little unfortunate. Should go ahead and use the second ability. Hopefully we get a kill. Okay, we didn't, but we got a curse proc, which ends up working out for us. And then we have enough damage, I believe, to go ahead and kill Nathalia. So we're going to go ahead and try to kill her here. That's perfect. Move on to Winstrex and then Melissa. So this is going to be a win. Now, I will say that this won't be a win every time. And the reason I say that is because if she stuns Winstrex, the enemy Winstrex, then I'm really done for. And that's a huge, huge if. It's a 1 in 4 chance, which is where my, about 80% win ratio comes from, is that oftentimes this Winstrex is faster than mine, and oftentimes that will happen. So we're just going to go ahead and try this against this team now as well. Same comp, same strategy. Now, for those of you that are not quite in Platinum yourselves, I think this is going to be much easier to get working. Now, as you can see, because they don't have a double ascension Winstrex, my Winstrex is faster, so they don't have the plus 15 speed. And we can go ahead and just stun Winstrex, not worry about it at all. And then Tia's going to go, put the defense down, get the freeze out, disrupt the turn meter, and get that extra damage in. We got 3 freezes, but Winstrex goes. And then we have Cyrus. We can just go ahead and just click Kane. This doesn't really matter because we have Zatlux, so he's just going to kill everything anyways. Just target Kane, move on to Zatlux, then Winstrex, then Tia. And that's pretty simple. I love this team because it's really quick, and that's really what I want. So I want a quick team that works pretty often. So that's the first version of the comp. I'm going to go ahead and swap back to show you exactly what I was thinking for the second version of the comp that I'm going to be running. So our second version of the comp is going to be slotting in Kyle. Why is Kyle useful? He's at 211 speed, so he's a little faster than Tia. And the reason why Kyle's useful is, for one, if our Winstrex goes first, he's for sure going to go second because he's very quick. And getting at 261 speed is pretty difficult for a lot of people, unless you have a double ascension Winstrex. And the reason why we're using him is because he can copy some really solid abilities out there. And the real places you want to use them are when they have things like Lunar Melissa, when they have things like Celestial Cane, when they have things like Mary, those versions of the comp, or maybe Brand even. You can drop them in and then use their ultimate so that they basically use some of their good CC or invincibility moves against them. So we can run them against this comp, but I don't know necessarily if this is going to work because, again, as I said, I lose about 1 in 4 times against this comp, especially depending on who they stun. So they stun Cyrus there, which is not the best thing. I mean, obviously getting stunned anywhere is not the best thing. So we're just gonna go ahead and speed boost here, and we shouldn't have to worry about anything. It's to be note that perhaps defense down is not the best spell here, and so we're just gonna go ahead and stun Zatlux here. And the reason why we're stunning Zatlux is because we can copy Melissa, and obviously you're gonna want to build him for a little bit of focus here. I don't have too much focus on him, but we can go ahead and just to put the defense down, hope we can get a land on some of the characters, and then just go ahead and taunt with Melissa. And the reason why this isn't good is because hopefully we can land a taunt on Melissa. Perfect. And now she doesn't get her taunt off. And that's one of the reasons why we're using this comp, is we copied the Melissa, we're able to use their real strong ultimate ability against them, and then, pop off with our damage dealers in the end. And we're just going to go ahead and try to stun. They have ability immunity, so it's not going to quite work there. But we're just going to go ahead and keep going. We can go ahead and reduce the ultimate cooldown of Kyle here. Perhaps if he gets to go again, but he's taunted the Melissa still, so it looks like we're not going to get a chance to go again, which is fine. We're just going to go ahead and get that bonus attack, or the ability immunity from Cyrus, and this battle's pretty much over, but you can kind of see the use of Kyle in certain circumstances. This is obviously not a blanket comp that I would use every time. I'd much prefer Tia in a lot of scenarios. However, this can work selectively better than Tia if they happen to have a Celestial Cane, as I said, or a Melissa, or something like that. Now, if you are copying Melissa, oftentimes it is nice to get him to 4 to 5 stars because, taunting someone could just be the death of him on a Melissa, where she doesn't do any damage. But if a damage dealer hit him, he for sure would be going down. I might just refresh and see if I can find another comp that he would be decent against. Again, we have a Lunar Melissa comp here, which you already saw. We can go ahead and try against this. Again, they have a double one-section Winstrex, so we might lose 1 out of 4 times if they're faster because they have that plus 15 speed. And they are faster, but they don't have a stun spell. That's also the other thing, is if they don't run stun spell, then you're pretty much in the clear. So we can just go ahead and, boost up our team with the speed. And I think most of our team, okay, Zatlux is the only one that's not going. And so what we can do here is we can just go ahead and stun Zatlux. And the reason why I keep stunning Zatlux is because there's no way Hydrissia will be able to kill Zatlux. About, 90% of the time, Hydrissia does not have the damage. And so we're just going to go ahead and copy Melissa, do the exact same thing as we did previously. We're going to go and see if we can apply the defense down. We got it on Hydrissia and Melissa. Those are the two that matter the most anyways. And we're just going to go ahead and see if we can taunt. Okay, so we got a taunt on Hydrissia, and we got a taunt on Melissa. So we're just going to go ahead and hit Melissa here with the ability immunity, and we're going to avoid the taunt from her, and we're going to get the basic from Hydrissia, and we avoided quite a bit of damage here. We're going to get the taunt from Melissa, though, which could complicate things a little bit because we have a taunt on Zatlux, but let's see if this changes anything realistically. We're just going to go ahead and see if I can burst down Zatlux here. Okay, Zatlux is dead, and now Hydrissia and Winstrex are the only ones left. Now, Hydrissia shouldn't be able to kill Zatlux here. She might kill Cyrus, but Zatlux is for sure going to live. And there we go. This should be the win here. It's a little dicey. Obviously, it would be much better if we were able to build Kyle with that focus, max out his glyphs. He's at elite glyphs, if I had not mentioned previously. He doesn't have any glyphs really on him, but if you're able to build him with focus, get him up to 5 stars, then obviously he's going to get much more use out of the character in this circumstance than he would have previously with Melissa. Now, if you're trying to copy Celestial Cane, oftentimes you don't need any star level at all because he's giving invincibility, so it doesn't really matter in that case. And then the last version of comps is a turn 2 comp. And so what I would run for that is something like, you know, perhaps a Tia, perhaps an Evelyn, perhaps Mythasia. And really what you're just going to do is have decently tanky stats, and Tia really works well for this because she's going to be reducing their speed, prepping her 80% freeze chance. Now, it doesn't work quite as well if you are fighting, you know, on offense because the tower really doesn't help you. However, if you're fighting something like, you know, a tanky comp like this one with Hakrin, with Rickard, for example, they're not going to do a ton of damage to you. So running, you know, a little higher stats and running a slower, more controlled, tankier comp works wonders that I've experienced. I don't have it built right now, so I can't really show you. But if you are lacking a Winstrex, or you are lacking a Kyle, there is some viability to running a turn 2 comp. Do I think it's great? No, I think it's situationally good. Again, like that Kyle thing, I think the Winstrex thing works, you know, about 80% of the time, especially if you have the damage. Because if you have the damage, you go first. You can go through these tankier comps. I personally do not have the damage to get through like Etup's defenses or Arapis' defenses, so I will be avoiding those like the plague. We are at rank 111, and I'm just going to be continue using this comp. It's worked out great. It has increased my, you know, win ratio quite a bit. I can already tell because some of these comps I was really slow in comparison. Sometimes their Winstrex would boost one of their other characters ahead of my Kyle, who I was using previously. So this is really helpful to me already. And hopefully that gives you some insight into how to build an arena comp. Again, you know, you can just use any sort of damage dealer, any AoE damage dealer. You can use Nathalia, but she's a little slow for my purposes, and she will end up going much slower than the enemies. And obviously, if you happen to have Tia from the Battle Pass, amazing arena offense and defense character, absolutely recommend that you build out Tia. So hopefully you enjoyed that video, and be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you for the next one.